chưa?
Watching children play. I sometimes think about things I don't say out loud. A home in Hanoi, a wife, a child. For someone on a low income at 34, these feel less like plans and more like dreams you visit at night. Hi, I'm Kong, a 34-year-old living in Hanoi on a low-income budget. Let me show you what a normal evening looks like for someone like me. It is 6 p.m. My mom just got home. She works as a cleaner at a school. One full day of cleaning, wiping, carrying. And the first thing she does when she walks through the door is plug in the rice cooker. In Vietnam, rice is not just food. It is the rhythm of the day. We eat it 3 times morning, noon, and night. Around 300 to 400 grams per person. It fills the stomach and gives the body what it needs to keep going. This rice cooker is over a decade old. My mom bought it back when my father was still alive. After he passed, she packed it up and carried it with her from our village to Hanoi. It cooks slowly, almost an hour before the rice is ready. The inner coating has started to peel. There are marks of age on every surface, but she keeps it, not because she cannot afford a new one, but because some things you hold on to not for what they do, but for what they remind you of.
Bán em biết rau không?
While the rice cooks, I head to the wet market nearby. In Vietnam, wet markets are not just places to buy food. They are the living room of the neighborhood, loud, crowded, honest. Vendors squatting beside their goods. The smell of fresh herbs mixing with everything else. Summer vegetables in Hanoi are reasonable right now. Between 10,000 and 40,000 Vietnamese dong per kilogram. I pick up what my mom likes. She prefers vegetables over meat always has. Malabar spinach, a big bunch. Around 37. Tomatoes firm and red. $1 per kilogram. Sweet potato, $1.10 per kilogram. Cucumber cool and heavy, $0.75 per kilogram. Lettuce, the leafy kind, $1.40 per kilogram. And sweet corn still in the husk, $0.7 each. Everything looks fresh today. I take my time choosing. Payment here is fast. A QR code, a quick scan done. No counting change, no waiting. Vietnam has moved quickly on this, and the markets moved with it. The total comes to 370. For that amount, my mom and I will eat vegetables for about 3 days. That is less than $1.25 a day for 2 people. For many people like me, the wet market is not just the cheapest option. It is also the most human one. You are not picking from a shelf behind glass. You are talking to the woman who woke up at 4 a.m. to bring this here. You are buying from someone whose hands have handled this produce since before sunrise, and somehow that feels like the right way to do it.
Hai ba anh chuyển rồi.
Em chuyển 23 rồi.
I always stop at the seafood section even when I know I cannot buy most of what is here. Shrimp, for example, 11.30 pesos per kilogram. We buy it maybe once or twice a year. For a birthday, for Tet, for a day that feels worth celebrating. Today is not that day. But clams I can do. 1.10 per kilogram. Small fresh still alive in the tray. I pick up 1 kilogram. With the Malabar spinach I already bought, I have everything I need for a pot of clam soup. Simple broth, clean flavor. 2 meals for my mom, maybe 3 if I cook it right. In many parts of the world, 1.10 would not buy you much at a seafood counter. Here it buys my mom dinner for 2 nights. The roasted duck stall is the most popular counter in this market. You can tell before you even see it. The smell arrives first, smoky, fatty, slightly sweet drifting through the whole aisle. People slow down when they walk past. A whole roasted duck costs 8.30. The vendor has been doing this for years. You can see it in the way he works confident fast, no wasted movement. The charcoal burns steadily underneath, and the skin comes out a deep golden brown, tight and crackling. What makes Vietnamese roasted duck different is the leaf it is grilled with. La Moc Mat, a wild leaf from the northern forests of Vietnam. It wraps around the duck during roasting and releases a fragrance that is hard to describe. Slightly herbal, warm, familiar if you grew up with it. I'm not sure if you have this leaf where you live. If you do, I would like to know. I don't usually buy this. 8.30 is not an easy number for me. That is almost 3 days of my food budget. But tonight feels like a night worth bending the rule. I ask for half a duck. The vendor nods and picks up his cleaver. He chops quickly and cleanly, each piece the same size. The sound of the blade on the wooden board is sharp and satisfying. Within 30 seconds, a small mountain of duck pieces sits in a tray ready to go. Half a duck, 4.15. I carry it home like I want something. The boiled duck counter. Same price, 8.30 for a whole duck, but a completely different experience, where the roasted version is bold and smoky. The boiled duck is quiet and gentle. The skin is pale and soft. The meat pulls apart easily. The flavor is clean, just the natural sweetness of the bird, nothing added to hide it. It is for people who want the duck itself, not the fire around it. Both are served with a dipping sauce. Soy sauce, minced garlic, fresh chili, and Thai basil. And then there is the soup. Bamboo shoot and blood soup canch mang. Thịt is the dish Vietnamese people almost always eat alongside duck. The broth is made from the water used to boil the duck, which means it already carries the full flavor of the meat before anything else is added. Rich, slightly sweet, clean. Into that broth goes cooked duck blood, soft dark and slightly firm, cut into small cubes, then shredded bamboo shoots, then bean sprouts, and at the end, a handful of fresh herbs, green onion perilla leaf, and long coriander all chopped fine. Do people eat animal blood in your country? And bamboo shoots, are they something you know? Dinner is done. The plates are washed. This is the hour that belongs only to me. Some people fill it with a phone screen, scrolling until their eyes get heavy. I understand that. But tonight I want air. Sidewalk tea is one of the most Vietnamese things I know. A plastic stool low, a glass of iced tea that costs 5,000 dong, 0.19, and a patch of pavement that somehow becomes a living room. You sit. You watch the motorbikes pass. If someone is sitting nearby, you talk. If no one is, you just watch. Loneliness is a strange thing. This city has more than 10 million people. The street in front of me never goes quiet. There is always an engine somewhere, always a light on in some window. And still, sometimes you sit in the middle of all of it and feel completely on your own. At the table next to mine, a group of young people are playing a board game, courtyard. Horse racing chess, a game most Vietnamese children grow up with. Simple board, colorful pieces, a lot of noise. Someone wins, someone groans, everyone laughs. And then I think of my old classmates back in the village. We used to play games like this too, sitting on the floor of someone's house, arguing about the rules, staying until it got dark. And our parents called us in. Now they are probably sitting with their own children right now, helping with homework, reading bedtime stories, turning off the lights, and listening to small breathing in the dark. I smile a little. Not because it is funny, but because life has a way of moving forward quietly, without asking if you are ready. They ended up somewhere. I ended up here on a plastic stool, watching strangers play a game I know by heart. Both are fine. Back at the apartment complex, the small courtyard is alive. It is not a big space. A few public exercise machines along one wall, two of them broken, waiting for someone to fix them. A concrete floor. The children are running, chasing each other, falling, getting up, chasing again. They do not seem to notice the heat or the broken equipment or the narrow space. Energy like that does not need much room. The adults sit and talk. Mostly women, mostly older. Many of them are grandmothers. From the countryside, the same as my mom. They came to Hanoi not for themselves, but for their children. Their sons and daughters moved to the city to work, had babies, and soon realized they could not do it alone. A domestic helper in Hanoi costs around $300 a month. For many migrant workers, that is more than half a salary. So, the grandmothers come instead. They leave their villages, their neighbors, their familiar streets, and they move into small city apartments to raise the next generation. They do not complain about it, at least not to the children. In Vietnam, this is what family means. You show up, you do what is needed. The cost of raising a child in a big city like Hanoi is not small. Childcare, school fees, medical visits, daily food. It adds up quickly and keeps adding up every year. For many young families, the math never quite works out, and the grandmothers are the reason it works at all. In your neighborhood, do people come outside in the evenings like this? Do families still gather in shared spaces, or does everyone stay behind closed doors? It is 9:30 p.m. Most people would be winding down, but on this street the lights are still on. Nail salons, eyelash studios, facial care, body massage. They line both sides of the road, small shop fronts glowing warm yellow into the night. A few customers sit inside each one. Women mostly leaning back in chairs, eyes closed, letting someone else take care of something for a while. Vietnamese women work hard. Anyone who spends a day in this city can see that. They wake up early, feed the family, go to work, come home, cook dinner, clean up. The day is long and the list does not end. But somewhere in the evening after the rice is eaten and the dishes are done, many of them carve out a small pocket of time. An hour for nails, 30 minutes for lashes, a facial that costs less than a restaurant meal. On the side of the road, a sanitation worker is waiting. Her car is full. She is watching for the collection truck. It is almost 10 p.m. She has probably been out since early morning. By the small lake, inside the park, there is a drink stall, just a cart, a cooler, a few plastic chairs arranged in the dark. The light here is dim, a single bulb hanging from a wire above the vendor's head. A few customers sit scattered around, cups in hand. In Vietnam, public space is never just public space. It is also someone's livelihood. This stall is probably not the vendor's main job. Maybe it covers the electricity bill. Maybe it fills the gap between one's salary and what the month actually costs. Drinks here run from $0.20 to just under $1. A few streets over, a different kind of evening is happening. Cafes and milk tea shops, bright and loud, full of people in their 20s. Music playing. The menu boards glow with options that cost between $1 and $4. One city, two evenings running side by side. One quiet and affordable. One bright and a little out of reach. There is one place in this building I always come back to at the end of the night. The rooftop. No cafe up here, unfortunately. No ambient lighting, no menu, no curated atmosphere. Just open sky and darkness and the city spread out below. Motorbikes and cars move through the streets like small lights, steady, patient, each one going somewhere. From up here they look almost peaceful, organized, like everything is exactly where it should be. I stand here for a while, and I think about nights at home, in the village. My father, my mother, my younger brother, all of us sitting outside after dinner in the open rice fields, watching the moon come up together. No buildings, no traffic. Just sky and the sound of insects and the people you loved most, all in the same place at the same time. That was a long time ago. The city hums below me. Somewhere in this building, my mom is already asleep. Sometimes the evening does not give you answers. It just gives you time to sit with the questions. Maybe the dream is still far, but tonight the half dark was good. That counts for something. I don't have the apartment yet. I don't have the family yet. But I have tonight. And tonight was fine. What does your evening look like when the day is finally over? Do you go outside or do you stay in? Let me know in the comments. I am curious.